And Shruti, in that instance, Volodymyr Zelenskyy said categorically that he won't be ceding any Ukrainian land to Russia. Does this rhetoric from Trump and this positive momentum ultimately come down to nothing if Zelenskyy doesn't want to give up Ukrainian land that was invaded by Russia within the past 3 or so years?
Well, Zelenskyy lost his say at the table when he walked away from the peace deal in 2022, and that too at the urging of Boris of UK. So it basically, at that particular time, it was just Crimea. There was no other land that Putin was holding that was Ukrainian. So he decided to continue this war for now 3 years. That's why we've been calling it Zelensky's war, not Putin's. There was the peace part where he said he does not want NATO there in Ukraine, and Crimea stays with Putin, but the rest of the Europe is quite safe. But when he walked away from that particular peace deal, he ensured that Europe faced this war for 3 whole years, where now Ukraine as a nation is bankrupt. Zelenskyy does not have popular vote. Hello?
Hello, Shruti. Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Yes, you can hear you.
Yes.
Something that we've been looking at. So Zelenskyy, when he says that he's not going to cede land, he doesn't have much water because this was never his war itself. Whatever Trump says he will do, because without Trump's backing, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv.
Yeah, Shruti. Let's now move on to this European conversation that's set to take place with Donald Trump. Zelenskyy involved potentially as well. Of course, Europe don't want to see huge concessions from Ukraine. They see this as Russian aggression. They see Ukraine as a key safety buffer potentially between Russia and the rest of Europe. Do you think that the EU will have any sway over Donald Trump? As we've seen in the past, Trump speaks to one person and changes his rhetoric. He then speaks to another party in this conflict and his rhetoric changes once again. Do you think the EU could hold the key here for Ukraine in getting a more favourable deal at a meeting that they potentially aren't even going to be at?
Well, for Trump, the bottom line is his profit. And he has said that this is what he does best. He makes deals. So this is, of course, he wants the peace to come because he wants to be the president of peace, which we've seen from the White House handle themselves, peddling out Superman Trump, Peace President Trump, all of those particular rhetorics. So he wants peace, but he wants profits more. So it depends on whether the European nations are willing to pledge more money into the war, which would then funnel the arms lobby, and the the Pentagon arms lobby nexus would be very happy to allow Trump to walk away from Putin's peace proposals. Of course, any excuse can be used to walk away from the deal, whether he's not happy with the land concessions, he's not happy with Putin's tone of voice, he's not happy with the non-NATO particulars of the deals. So anything can be used to sway Trump as long as the profit line is matched. So I think the European nations know this well, and they have been doing exactly that. The arms lobby has vastly benefited during this entire 3 years of war, and they continue to do so by goading Zelenskyy, who is a puppet president, and they continue to enjoy the games of war. It's very simple.
And Shruti, very quickly before we move on, of course, this meeting comes in the wake of tariff threats from Donald Trump on Russia, secondary sanctions as well. The situation is, of course, a tense one, a difficult one. But if there is no agreement, if Donald Trump says he walks into the meeting and can see Putin doesn't want a deal, what action can we expect next from the US on Russia?
Well, he has already fired the N-word, hasn't he? He's already asked the nuclear submarines to be repositioned. And Putin has responded by saying that it will no longer, honor the INF. So this shows that Putin is ready to put his machines where his mouth is, while Donald Trump is looking for profits. So this is something we need to understand, that he will walk away and he's going to try and make it all about himself, that he can call anybody he wants, and he's going to threaten sanctions and all the other things. But the N-words have been fired, and both of them have now to step back. Otherwise, we look at a nuclear brinkmanship That is not good for anybody in this world.
Shruti Dasgupta, as always, thank you ever so much for your opinions and insights on that topic. Let's take a move now